Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Monday night? Monday, April Fool's Day. I don't believe in that actually. You know, I mean, I was just listening to Bill Burr. I just started listening to his podcast, and he was talking about the origin of the April Fools, right? I'm like, what? In any case, all right, everyone. Let's not make assumptions and let's just start our podcast on a positive note. First of all, I apologize to all of you, my subscribers and my listeners, six of you or eight of you or 15 of you, right? The audio on my last podcast was horrible. Again, my apologies because I was using those Apple, AirPods. Why am I doing this? Jesus Christ. I was using the Apple AirPods, and those are the ones actually my wife had told me, and I actually gave her the other ones that I had here, right, when we met in South Africa. And remember, I tried that once using those AirPods, earphones, Apple, and those things were horrible. She had told me, then I didn't realize. I'm sorry again. Apologize. 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 I'm sorry. Forgive me. So I just came from my sister's place, my brother-in-law and sister's, Long Island City. You know, I went there after work. I was on the phone with my wife, and then she went to sleep. And first of all, I thanked them for uh, for giving me the letters for my wife's. She was trying to get her here through something else, but I don't want to give her any information. All right, but the other thing I want to thank them about obviously was not obviously, but they gave me a they gave me a what did they give me as my birthday gift was a driver, one of those really amazing golf drivers, and then another club, a putter, and I thank them for that, and hopefully if the weather is favorable, this weekend, or I was looking up, and I might actually go out there play with them, out in Queens somewhere, sir. Why are you doing this? Man, your posture is so off the Jesus Christ. Sorry, I apologize. Um, so I'm talking a little loud. I'm sorry, I apologize because I want to make sure that you all are able to listen to what the hell I'm talking about, right? At least. It's just relax, sir, relax. So, um, I was a little pissed this past weekend, and especially Saturday, because I was really sort of pissed at my lawyer, about my wife's case, and how she didn't give me the whole fucking information, and I don't want to give up anything, but if you are hired by somebody as a lawyer or whatever, right, as a professional, right, you're supposed to give your clients all the information, you know, foreseeable and also sometimes unforeseeable circumstances, right? Results when you should expect what at what stage, right? So if I'm an engineer and some client comes to me and says, "Hey man, we need to hire you to do blueprints for us because we want to do construction, but we need to know, in addition to the money they're going to charge us, how much." The process, what's the process? What the different stages of, closing out and, after construction, even before construction, how to get the permits and blah, 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 right? It's not the exact 100% analogy with the lawyers, but you get my point, right? And that's why I was pissed at her. And but finally, she got back to me, and these embassies, although there shouldn't be any wait time for, technically, there shouldn't be any wait time for requesting your spouse, right, into your country of residence, right? Which is what I'm trying to do, you know. And and it's just the long lines, just the long fucking lines. So we had to wait months and months and months, you know. Um, so unfortunately, we just have to deal with it. Again, that's like personal information. I don't want to give out, but we are just dependent on when the queue would be open for her, you know. So I appreciate every one of you. Thank every one of you out there who have well wishes for us, both of us, you know. Um, and I wish you all the best too, whatever, you know, uh, life is going to give you, you know. Uh, I wish that the life gives you the best of everything, that you deserve, right? So, um, my sister cooked some vegetarian. It was all, you know what? It was all vegetarian. She cooked some amazing, like, you know, rice with like peas, you know, green peas, right? No, not the Jamaican style rice and peas, right? Because those are really beans, the Jamaican rice. And then she cooked some, some okra. Oh, that was good. I think I ate half of that okra, then then both of them, I think. Uh, and and then I just came back, you know. Um, how is your week going so far, huh? Monday? I did play golf last Sunday as I had planned, at the Skyways 9-hole golf course, First game of the season here in New Jersey, I would say, And so they're rebuilding that. They have rebuilt that golf course, right? With new like tee boxes, new carts, brand new carts. Amazing. Electric, all electric, blah blah blah, right? And how did I play? My game was like sort of mediocre. You know what? I sucked on the fairway wood, and I was telling my brother-in-law, that I gotta, I gotta practice. I gotta practice. And I was playing with two other players. They were obviously better than me, more experienced golfers, right? But it was fun. The weather was nice. It was a little windy, and then towards the end, towards like seventh, eighth hole, wind died down, so that was good. And we finished in like 2.5 hours, right? Yeah, about 2.5 hours. And so I'm looking forward to, this goddamn weather, which obviously is still under 50, in the 50s, and I don't think it's going to change. Um, uh, I don't think it's going to change. The problem is, um, we got fucking rain. Basically, starting tomorrow up until goddamn Thursday, we got rain, and then Sunday we got 55, which is actually not as better as it was last Sunday, and then Monday we got 64. There you go. Right? Maybe if I start Monday early, right? uh, and then finish. Let's say finish work around 3:30, and then I get to Skyways, right? 4 o'clock, because now the time has changed, right? Because we got this daylight saving time. So the sunset is tomorrow. Let's see. So sunset is basically 7:20. Technically. So up until 7 I can play, even if I get there 4:30, right? Monday. I can play all 9 holes, you know. So let me see if I can do that. Although I hate to play golf or do other things on weekdays, because obviously, I have a lot of fucking work I have to do. But then I'll have put the effort into work maybe weekend, and then avail the nice weather on Monday, maybe, right? So I um, I played golf yesterday, and then I did some cooking. I went to go groceries, and I made a chicken, like the chicken stew with like chicken wings and some, I threw in there some potatoes and nothing spicy, but nice. That's nice stew. And then I cooked some rice, a little bit of rice, in microwave as I always do, right? And then I cooked my potatoes for breakfast for the whole week yesterday, and and you know how you feel like, and this is what my wife was having today because I woke up late today, I couldn't even get up. I slept here. I mean, I slept here in the living room, on the floor. I have that mattress, like, right, small mattress. Yeah, it's called the weekend syndrome, weekend early wake up syndrome. Is that what it is? You know, like if you are sleeping, right, and it's a weekday, you don't usually normally get up. You don't care. I don't know. Well, I do know. I think this is a syndrome with many people, right? So uh, I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. I got a lot of work, and and um, again, I have to say that, and many of you probably also sort of, you know, um, probably most likely, right, feel the same way that we got to keep the balance of life, life and what the fuck am I saying? Okay, balance of work and calmness and things that you like to do in life, because work is not the only thing uh we should be doing. And work is good, keeps you strong, pays you bills. But then, and then this is the fucking problem here in America, right? We don't, especially for us men, we don't really like take care of our well-being, on many levels. Um, because we just, we are like horses, when it comes to work. And sometimes I feel like I've done that, and that has actually burnt me, work burnout. And so you gotta, we gotta spend our time more efficiently, whatever it is. Um, balance, life balance is very important. I think that should be my mantra every time I do my podcast, right? Okay, so what did you do for your life balance this week, sir? Or in this past week, right? Um, well, I was working. Oh, the other thing I did was it this weekend or the previous weekend? Okay, so I think I mentioned that I took an intro flight lesson at one of the schools here, right? And I want to do that, although right now, I mean, for that, because I don't want to go through that fucking airport nonsense, right? And it's also fun. The other thing, obviously, I think I said this many times in my podcast, is that I think the future of the flight, the human flight, personal flight, is soon going to be a reality. Okay, and let's say that you can buy one of those like personal flying drones, right? Uh, and then I know that a Swedish company makes them, but right now they are very expensive to buy. I can't afford them. Uh, they are extremely expensive to buy right now. But I'm hoping it's like when Model T 1000 came out, right? What is it? What is that Model T? The Ford Model T back in the fucking 1920s. Was it 1900, right? When it came on the fucking road, right? How expensive was that? I think it was very expensive for those dollars. Dollars of that time was extremely expensive. I don't think everybody could afford that until, you know, the assembly line in Michigan and Detroit and, that all opened. And then the cars became affordable for everyone, right? I think this is where we are. Well, maybe not exactly. This is exactly where we are, but I think soon, maybe 5 years, 10 years, right? It's going to be a reality. So that's why I want to basically have that in place. So, for example, why do I have to fucking go through like 6 hours of a flight, even to go to a place like Florida, right? Or let's say you want to go to, I don't know, Vermont or New Hampshire, right? It's like an hour and a half flight, right? But then going through the fucking airport, all that nonsense, right? And the time wasting, and then the air travel is not fun. Air travel, unless you are rich and I mean, if you again, if you are rich and if you have your own fucking private jet, that's a different story. But if you're flying public, right, through any airline, and if you have first class, right, or business class, where you can basically stretch your legs, and and the TV is better, right? Movies are better, whatever, right? They give you like a fucking glass of champagne for free or whatever, right? Free whatever. And there's like how many people? There's like 10%, not even 10% on the fucking plane, right? Maybe 15%. For normal people like you and me, air travel is a fucking pain in my ass, all right? I understand. I understand, it's not easy. Um, unless, they come up with these fucking jet engines, right? I mean, the engines on these planes are jet anyways, right? But unless we come up with a extremely faster flight, right? Like Concorde. No, not Concorde, but even faster, where from here to Europe, you get there in like 2.5 hours, right? Instead of like fucking 6 hours or 8 hours, right? Then yeah, 2 hours I can sit in a fucking plane, right? In between two fat people, right? One is basically just eating fucking Cheetos and whatever the hell, right? And the other one is just like fucking spreading your legs and blah blah blah, right? 2 hours, even 2 hours, that's not fun. All right. And so that's the fucking reason why I want to do this. All right. Um. Well, I mean, that, and then welcoming the personal flight, the whole personal flight experience, you know, and the new era of, human civilization now getting into, you know, uh, personal air travel instead of, like road trips and blah, 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 right? And that's going to be a fucking reality. I'm telling you, it's going to be a reality because of necessity. Necessity, sir. Is that what you want to say? Um, because the other day, and the other day this week, actually, you know, was it Thursday or Friday? And I have a new job in fucking out in Queens, right? Far out in fucking Queens, New York, right? And then between getting there and then coming back to the office, and I was already fucking, you know, not really like happy with the travel and the traffic, and then I sort of like I got mad at my wife as well, but uh and then I had to say sorry to her. And it took me like 4 hours, 4 fucking hours, you know. And it's not only it's not even not only, sir, it's not even like 15 miles, through the fucking hoops of like going through tunnels and then the bridges, right? And whether you go through Manhattan, coming through Manhattan and going through Manhattan out Queens, that's even fucking worse, right? But regardless, whether you take the other bridge, right? Gothal's not Gothel, sir. Staten Island to Brooklyn Bridge, right? And Verrazano, right? But regardless, all right, it's a fucking pain in the ass. And this is the necessity where people are going to say, fuck that. Why are we spending hours and hours in fucking traffic when we can just zip through in our drones, right? Personal, like personal flights, all right? So that's what's going to be the reality. I hope out of necessity again, right? What else is going on, everything, huh? Um, Sorry, I just jumped from one topic to the fucking other topic, and then I lost the chain of thoughts. What actually I want to talk about maybe is something that I should talk about. Um, I talked about a lot of great things in the last podcast, except that nobody could hear, right? I'm sorry. I apologize again. Mm, sometimes this fucking technology can be frustrating. Well, why don't you get a mic and headphones, sir? I don't want to do that, okay? I'm not being paid by YouTube or Spotify gazillion of dollars for me to do a proper like a studio, and then I act like I'm a big podcaster. I'm not. I just talk. I just talk shit. And self-reflections, is that what it is, sir? Whatever you call it. You can judge me however you can judge me. I don't care. Uh, my podcast obviously has no set topics, no set rules. And whatever the contemporary subjects, you know, mm, in this world, less talking about politics, more about, exciting things, technology, and um, and then obviously what I like to talk about is anything that I like, actually, Um, and then sometimes, when I think about and sometimes, and when I think about, and if I had some sort of a vision, right, back in the days, all right, I started my fucking YouTube channel with the cooking videos. If you have seen them, the early ones from 2010 or 2011, right, that's when I started my channel. So, which is basically about 13, 14 years ago, right? Uh, there were not a lot of podcasters. I don't think there were any, even what do you call, I think Joe Rogan probably didn't have one. Did he have one? I think he had one. But see, the problem was that I was just too much into fucking partying and all that in New York, in New York City back in the days, right? And I didn't care, because I always had a job, whether I started work for myself or, I was working for other companies, you know. But what actually sort of like makes me depressed sometimes is that maybe I should have thought more creatively, and maybe I should have started this or something that's sort of unique, right? When remember when fucking YouTube came on the public scene, right? Like who thought about like something like YouTube? What is a YouTube? What do you mean you are tube? Uh, a tube is in like obviously a screen, right? A TV screen or tube, right? That's what they used. That's what they used to have. Those TVs used to have tubes. Remember? And those are so fucking heavy. Even to carry like a 24-inch TV, you needed two persons, two people. All right. And so and people have have been making so much income and money out of those whatever they have done or they're still doing on YouTube, right? Or on and then these other platforms came on board, right? TikTok. Aren't people actually making money out of TikTok? Young ones, right? So um not only that, I think that because maybe this would have been an extra income for me if I had done this, and had some like gazillion views, right? But uh, but also it gives you some sort of satisfaction. I think I don't know, just for fun, Exactly. So you make money and you also have fun. How about that, right? Can't go wrong. No. I don't know. What's going to be the next big thing after YouTube? What's going to be the next social platform, besides or after something like Twitter or, I mean, I'm not on Instagram or Facebook or one of those, right? If somebody has already thought. But the whole AI craze is out of fucking proportion. It has been blown out of fucking proportion. It's been, and I don't agree that it's going to just fucking take over. But if anything, I think it might actually help us in easing tensions in our life. Is that what it is? I don't. No. I mean that's not what I think AI is eventually going to do. I think AI is eventually going to come up with some other platform of its own. All right. And what is that, sir? I don't know. Maybe it will combine fucking YouTube with Instagram and then, meshes it with fucking Facebook and just comes up with something else where, that's your world. That's it. That's your fucking digital world. Is that what's going to happen? I don't fucking, and then people just stop even like living a normal human life. Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it's the AI is going to create. I have no fucking idea. And then we are going to become digital. Is that what it is? Um, I don't know. Maybe this is a phase that us human beings are going through. We have to go through because first our necessity, and then now necessity has become the dependability, right? And dependability. So basically, a tool we created it has become an addiction for us. Is that what it is? I don't fucking idea. I'm talking about these smartphones and all that, right? But what is the next level? Well, what's going to happen after, let's say, this fucking iPhone, version 17? All right. I think something like Apple's Vision Pro. Remember those fucking goggles? I still have to actually try them. Maybe this weekend. I should write it down that, oh, I got to try Apple Vision goggles, right? and I'm hoping that their price goes down so I can buy them. But their platform is the Apple's operating system, so we can't use them for Windows. I don't think so. If you want to use them for work and all that, because my company, I started up when I started my company, right? When I started off, and then I had employees, right? Back, I'm talking about back in 2013, 14, right? That's when I restarted my company. I started with these. I had these old like Apple computers, right? You could buy them, and then you can do word processing, you can do Excel and all that, right? But then all the other fucking software, uh, apps and all that, that I needed, they aren't made for Apple, But for fun, for entertainment and all that, I think Apple, and if especially if you're an artist, Apple is the way to fucking go. All right. Um, and um, and so I don't know. Maybe that is a new thing. I mean, I gotta try it because what I like, again, what I like about that is that it's like the integration of the reality with the virtual reality, right? Because again, you have the goggles, and then you can actually see through. I'm not talking about, you put the goggles on and you see through people's clothes and see their naked bodies. I'm not saying that, but you know, you can see basically your, reality around you, which is basically if you're in office, in my case, if I'm sitting here, right? Uh, I can see my kitchen, my, fridge and all that, right? And then with the goggles, I can basically put another screen, virtual screen, and I can just watch a movie or whatever the fuck I want to watch, right? See, right? TikTok? No, hopefully not. I don't want to watch that. All right. Uh, and then you can work. Actually, you can open like multiple screens apparently, and then you can do this, or you can get a fucking keyboard, right? And and so that's sort of fascinating, because Apple obviously is the best at hardware. Um, and then the question becomes, okay, so then what's next after? What's next after that, right? I think next after that probably would be just like we become digitized. Hmm? Not digitized, sir, but somehow I think we're going to integrate ourselves more into technology. Why would we do this, sir? Because it's going to be again, it's going to be a necessity, and it's just going to be part of our lives. Just like where we are now, um, and we would be in the fucking matrix, right? Fucking matrix. You take the fucking blue pill or you take the fucking red pill, right? Uh, but without taking any fucking pills, we will be basically just part of the technology. I don't think we're gonna lose our human essence, right? Our human mind, obviously is more powerful. Our human body is more powerful in terms of, how it has been made. It's the alien artifact, I always call it, uh, the creation of some sort of an alien um, through its own, what do you call, evolution, through its own evolution and adopting the environment, right? Which in our case would be our planet Earth. You think that the atmosphere was created for us? No, no, no. Our predecessors created the atmosphere, plants and all that, all right? And that's how they protected, life here, all right? Um, uh, although, Earth's iron core is what actually really protects us from, the solar flares and all that, right? Because we have the magnetic protection because magnetosphere, right? Because of the iron ore in the heart of our planet. Otherwise, our own star will basically just, you know, burn us with the solar flares and and all that all those other waves and flares and then our atmosphere would be gone in I think in years or months. I have no fucking idea. Uh, but uh, obviously, that was one of the reasons why we have life on this fucking planet, right? As opposed to goddamn Mars, which does not have that, that sort of like the protection from sun's solar flares, right? Um, wasn't actually Elon Musk going to blow up the fucking what do you call Mars on its north and southern poles to restart that whole process of what terraforming Mars, right? Um, who knows? Who knows? We might actually come up with some sort of technology to, yes, restart and well, I think what he was trying to do, not that he did it, but his idea from an engineering standpoint is that you have to basically make Mars warmer, in order to do that. What's the whole fucking idea of like, blowing it up North and Southern Pole? I had no fucking idea, but that was one of his, plans. I think he might still have that plan. And all you hippies out there are gonna say, "Oh, you can't blow up Mars. You can't do that. That's against what? That's against humanity. What? No. Um, but if we think about, oh, this is the only planet we have, and some shit happens, right? For some fucking reason, we basically, somebody fucking launches all these fucking missiles, nuclear, right? And then we blow up the fucking planet, and then what? And then it's going to be like the fucking Oblivion. Remember that movie with Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman? Or, one or the other science fiction, And then that becomes a fucking reality. Then we need a second planet, right? Um, hopefully not. Hopefully that doesn't happen in my lifetime, because that would be a fucking disaster, right? As if we don't have enough problems um, with wars and fucking still poverty, you know, poverty and, despair and whatever else for many people on this fucking planet, right? Uh, without sounding like a hippie myself, um, you do what you gotta do, without hurting other people, without being a fucking asshole, You work hard and, you get to where you want to be, all right? And and you got to basically, and this is something that I am learning, as well, is that you got to basically just fucking filter out the not unrelated, not that's not the word. What's the fucking best word? You got to filter out, you know, anything that is anything that's not directly affecting your life. That's it. Whether that be politics or whatever in the fucking affairs of the world or planetary scale, whatever ideas and this and this, right? And then, your life becomes actually calmer, Simple, yeah, we gotta keep our life simple, unless you're a politician and then you have some fucking agenda, right? And obviously you have a whole like a flock of sheep who believe in you or some shit, right? um um I think we all got to just like filter out, you know unnecessary, yeah, right, that's all right, unnecessary information, ideology out of our lives. I think that's what it is. That's what I'm trying to learn. Okay, because sometimes I think about, you know, like what do you call unnecessary. I think about like you know I think about events in past and this world and it's just I'm some sort of a fucking you know in charge of something. Yeah, sir, you are in charge of your own fucking life, you know, your loved ones, you, with me, and then my wife, and then, my family and my job, and, that's it. That's what I'm in charge for. In charge, or in charge. So I think we all fall into that fucking abyss, that black hole, as if we become like the Greta Thunbergs. I can't even fucking say her name. All right, but you get my point that we feel like we are the messiahs and we got to solve the problems on this world. Yeah, well, that's well and good, well said as well. However, where's the practical what do you call the plan, sir? Are you saving the fucking world for something? Uh-huh. No, no. So I am learning to just filter out all that fucking, you know, unrelated, unnecessary, you know, uh, nothing to do with my life directly information. All right, information or all of that, and then your life becomes too simple. Am I just talking too much in terms of like simplistic ways of like fucking living a life? I don't know. Well, for that, I think a real simple life, to be honest with you, is to just walk away from everything, right? You just set up some sort of a fucking, what do you call, a hut somewhere, right? I'm not talking about like a hut in the Amazon jungle or somewhere. I'm talking about, you have to basically go somewhere away from the fucking civilization, right? And then just like, cook something simple, like simple ways. Don't even have a fucking phone and just, if anything, just read a fucking book, right? And that's it. But that's not a lot of people do it. And it's that's something that's becoming harder and harder, with the technology and the information, internet, this net, that net, whatever the fuck net, right? And and then I have a feeling that we will become part of the fucking Skynet, and then the fucking T-1000, robots are going to take over the world, right? Is that what it is? I hope not. So I think that's the real simple way of living life. Eh? If you can do it, um, I can't. You know, I can't even bring my wife here. You asking me. You know, you're asking me to walk away from everything and live like a fucking uh, life of some sort of a hermit. No, I can't. I wish I could. Where I had enough money. I had made enough money when I was younger, where I don't have to worry about like financials and all that. And everybody in my life, my loved ones and my what do you call family and friends, and they are all set. in their lives. They're all happy. But you can't. Who said that? I think many people say that, you're trying to basically, if you try to jump the gun, right? And you want to be some sort of a shaman or something, right? And oh yeah, so David Diera's book. He's a great author. That was like my Bible, sort of, right? And I have to basically, I think, reread that book. But um, if you're trying to basically walk away from everything, and then you're trying to find spirituality or some sort of, other meaning in life, that's, you know, now be my guest, But if at any point in time during that process, if you feel that there was something that's still missing, it could be anything. It could be, I don't know. I'm not talking about, oh, I didn't buy a fucking, what do you call a yacht, $1 million yacht. Well, I mean, you didn't have any $1 million, or I didn't make any fucking $1 million, or I wasn't with this woman, or I wanted to have kids, you know, before, I could do this, and or I, whatever other, worldly fucking things, right? We have to do, right? If those things are still somehow you think they're lingering in your fucking mind, then that's going to be it. That it's like, you can't just jump to, rung number whatever, you know 10 of the letter, without going through fucking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And and um and maybe some people do it. I don't know. I have no fucking idea, maybe that, some people feel that they know this world, and this, this is just not this. They know it. They've been there, which means that, well, you know what, man, I know. I mean, yeah, I'll go to work tomorrow, and then, then I'll do this, and then I'll do this over and over and over again, right? And then and then at some point in time you say, you know what, fuck this. What am I doing? I'm not happy, I'm not happy in my status quo sort of life, right? So why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I still going, right? Then you ask, okay, then what's the other option? What's the alternative? You quit your job, or you gotta get out of your relationship, or you move somewhere else. It could be one of those things. It could be any of those things or all of those things, all right? So, life is just, uh, it's not hunky dory. It's not a simple, you know, uh, sort of like, uh, set of, what do you call, rules or directions, or oh, you gotta do this, and then you'll get to that point, or without knowing, because first of all, we don't fucking know the future is going to be like for us, right? And then, and then, and then at the same time, you know, we just live to either get by, or we live to fucking just live, and then the dissatisfaction gets basically piled in into our fucking subconsciousness, right? And we try to suppress it. And I think, and then that can explode. That's not good. And that's when you need fucking therapy. Is that what it is? No, maybe. But uh, the status quo in, what you wanted, or what you want in your life. For example, I asked this question to my own self. I mean, Yeah, I have my own company, but am I satisfied? Am I satisfied, like, what where my company is financially and all that, right? No, I'm not, And so I got to basically, I got to I got to get out of this status quo because if I'm just getting a salary, through my company, and I have a couple of interns and this and that, right? But then, uh, why can't I take some risk, right? To to take up maybe bigger projects, or do something where, I have some sort of more success, right? And I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be, uh, what do you call, ungrateful, I'm grateful for what I have, Yes, I have a lot of fucking government debt that I had to pay back, which I took during COVID, That's the reality, but that's the same as like you're paying fucking mortgage for the rest of your life, right? Um, so, uh, yeah, I mean, just the satisfaction doesn't come from money. Happiness doesn't come from money, but money is a fucking tool. All right. You need that tool so you can focus on other things, right? And then, you can focus on whatever you want to do in life, besides like fucking just being a cog in the fucking wheel, just grinding every day to work and coming home and doing the same shit all over, right? And then again, I think that also just part of the fucking, you know, this whole notion of like, balance, life, work, pleasure, family, all that balance, right? And we don't have that. Many of us, we don't have that, unfortunately. I'm lucky that, I have a caring and loving wife, although we're not together, and that sucks, obviously, um, uh, but it hadn't been easy for me, for many, many, many years. And I sort of, got to a point where I almost told myself, fuck this, I'm just going to give up, whatever the fuck it is, in terms of relationship and all that, right? And then I just basically just kept on grinding and grinding and grinding, But that grinding, just gets you burnt out, makes you burnt out. And then you question yourself, and then sometimes you fall into some sort of a fucking abyss. Am I turning my podcast into some sort of a fucking negative, or, like too much of a self-reflection? Or why don't we talk about something positive, sir? No, I'm talking about both, I think. And you know how they say, and this is what I don't fucking understand. Okay, oh, these Scandinavians are the happiest people. Oh, these people in Finland. Oh, these people in fucking Norway, they are the happiest people. What? Happiest people? Really? What, in what sense? As if they've never been sad? They don't have any issues in their lives? Or they don't have any fucking, anything that makes them like not happy? I don't fucking get that. Because that's like saying, you never had any problems in your life. You are not going to have any problems in your life. You don't have any problems in your life. All right. Uh, I'm not saying that every person should have problems in their lives, but I'm saying that life is not hunky dory. Right? But we got to basically be more objective and see where the fuck we are. And that's what I'm trying to do, And that's my self-reflection. Right? Um, in any case, all right, so let's talk about something else. It's already like 1 hour. I apologize again last time. Hopefully the sound system this time worked. All right, because I'm not using any fucking AirPods or any of those, you know. I think if anything, if I'm gonna use the microphone, it has to be plugged in. All right, I don't fucking believe in these like Bluetooth, that fucking nonsense. Excuse my language. I don't believe in that anymore because especially with these computers, right? and technology. Maybe I'm getting old, and technology is going to like leave me behind. Right? Is that what it is? I think technology is already leaving us behind, and is going to come up with its own fucking change. Yeah. Um, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen like 100 years from now. All right. Do you think people who were alive 100 years ago, 1910, I'm sorry, 1924, you think they had any fucking clue about the internet and these fucking phones? Huh? Even though they had technology, I think they had some communication technology, right? They had phones, I think, and obviously they had cars and this and that, right? But electricity, yes, they had, but they had no fucking clue about this technology, these phones and gadgets and this fucking high-speed internet and communication. YouTube. You think they had any fucking clue about YouTube or Twitter? No, I don't think so. So same thing for us. You think 100 years from now, do we know what the fuck is going to evolve? I have no fucking idea. I won't be here. None of you will be here either 100 years from now. All right. But I'm just saying that we all have to just fucking catch up with the technology. No, not every fuck, not every fucking technology. You know how people talk about, oh, and I'm sorry, sometimes I feel like I sound like that too, when I talk about like something like, oh, Apple's like fucking Vision Pro. It's like, how people, some people talk about, oh, I want to get the new iPhone and I want to get the new fucking Samsung, whatever the fuck phone, right? And oh, have you seen that ad for the new iPhone? Have you seen the iPad? Have you seen the fucking, whatever Bill Gates? Well, Bill Gates is he alive? He's alive, but Steve Jobs is dead. But who's his the other guy? Whatever the hell his name is, right? Who's running the Apple company, right? He revealed something, and then it becomes what like a mantra, and these fucking people get in the lines, right? Get in line. It's 4 o'clock in the morning to buy that shit. That's how fucking bad we are, some of us. But hopefully, I'm not that fucking crazy when it comes to, something like that, right? Um, and I think, and again, balance of life is also, you gotta fucking take it easy, man. You gotta fucking take it easy. And unfortunately, this is just a need, and we are just becoming part of this, or this is becoming part of us. Um, but that doesn't mean that, we lose our essence of who we are as human beings. For now, at least, okay? Because I don't know what the fuck we're going to be in 50 years, 40 years. Who the fuck knows, right? Uh, our emotions, our, relations, our laughs, our crying, our whatever, right? These are all essential, you know. Emoticons, no, sir. These are all essential human uh, projections of I have no fucking idea what the what I'm trying to say, but you get my point is that all these are part of us being human. Okay, so machines won't have that technology unless again this fucking AI, whatever this fucking craze is it becomes something real, sentient, and then says, "Oh, you humans are emotional," and I think we need somebody who's not emotional and who doesn't cry or who doesn't laugh or who doesn't become angry. Yeah, I get angry. Yeah, we all have to basically, control our emotions, and that doesn't mean that we should not be angry. Okay, that's a human emotion. All right, healthy angry, yes, healthy angry is good because now you're not whining all the fucking time. You are complaining about something genuine. All right, that's human. All right. Um, All right, everyone. So I assume you all had a great weekend. Now we are back into the fucking grind. Grind reminds you of what? Oh, remember MTV had a show called Grind when the dish TV came into mountains, right? When you installed a dish on top of, I mean, on the roof of our house in the mountain, right? And so, you flip the fucking channels, right? And then one of the couple of channels were MTV channels. MTV Grind was one of those fucking shows, right? Oh my fucking god! People are dancing and music and grind and this and that, right? Grinding. All right, everyone. Without bashing MTV, is that even is that MTV is still there? I don't fucking idea. Um, So yeah, I gotta get some, I gotta get more work. I gotta get them, money coming in. Well, let's yeah, come back to reality. Reality, sorry, reality hits the human brain. Right? All right, everyone. I assume again you all are having a great week, and I'll see you all next weekend or Monday.